Zamfara State Commissioner of Information assures of his cooperation with media organizations in the state. Sokoto to partner Bulletin on rejuvenation of state legal system. President Buhari received security briefings from service chiefs and other heads of the security agencies. On business, Nigeria's 2.64 trillion naira proposed oil revenue under threat. And on the international scene, coronavirus scares thousands held on board cruise ship in Italy. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I'm Samira Ibrahim. Now in the news in full. The State Commissioner of Information, Culture and Tourism, Alhaji Suleiman Tunau Anka, has expressed satisfaction with the establishment of private television station in the state. The commissioner, who was receiving the management of Standard Voice Television Gusau, said the television outfit will help immensely in the propagation and enlightenment of government policies and programs. Alhaji Suleiman Tunau Anka gave the assurance that his ministry will partner with the Standard Voice Television for adequate enlightenment of the people on the government's laudable programs. The commissioner assured that the ministry will always consider the Standard Voice Television in its major programs of enlightening the people on government programs.
Ina neman goyon baya sosai da ganin cewa jihar Zamfara ta samu ci gaba ta fannin yada labarai da manufofi na gwamnati. Wanda yake inda duk ya zan cewa babu haɗin kai ko babu goyon bayan ku, to babu yadda za a san cewa ga abin da gwamnati take yi ma al'umma, sannan kuma ga abin da al'umma suke bukata suke murada a yanzu. Ta wannan ne wannan zagayen wanda yake ina neman goyon bayan wannan har gobe har koyaushe a shirye muke da duk wata gudunmawa da duk wani abu wanda ya zan cewa bai yi ƙarfin mu ba, bai yi ƙarfin gwamnatin jihar Zamfara. Insha Allah a shirye ko ina ne wanda zan ba da nan gudunmawa.
Earlier, the chairman and chief executive of Standard Voice Television, Alhaji Ibrahim Dosara, said they were in the commissioner's office to congratulate him on his appointment as the Commissioner of Information, Culture and Tourism. He also, on behalf of the board and management of the television station, prayed Allah to help guide and protect him in carrying out his responsibilities to the state. He said Standard Voice Television is a popular TV station with a reach of 100 square kilometer radius from Gusau, the capital of Zamfara State. Alhaji Ibrahim Dusara said the station was established 8 months ago with a view to providing objectives and reliable content to the viewers and to carry them along in the true situation of government's programs and policies being formulated and implemented for the benefit of the people. The chief executive of this TV station said the station is focusing on developmental and rural journalism, which is a key core value of journalism globally today, particularly in our developing nations that are in their need of reciprocal relationship between the governments and the governed. He called on the commissioner to carry every media house along and not to take any media as his enemy, even when being criticized.
It became necessary for me on behalf of the Standard Voice Television and Radio to congratulate His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Zamfara State, Honorable Bello Muhammad Matawalla Maradun, MON, and Bardan Hausa for having you in this cabinet as member. Honorable Commissioner, we are here today to first of all congratulate you on your appointment as Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism under this present administration of Governor Bello Mutawalle, which avail you the opportunity to serve your state and people by giving your contributions to the development of your state.
Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal has reiterated that his administration is poised to partner Britain in its attempt to revamp and rejuvenate the state legal system. Governor Tambuwal made this known when he received a delegation from Britain led by the member of the country's parliament and its former Justice Minister, Helen Grant. The delegation was in the state to understudy the prevailing justice system with a view to organizing training for judges, magistrates, and law officers. Receiving the group at Government House Sokoto, Alhaji Waziri Tambuwal explained that the state inherited its current legal system from Britain, adding that it is proud of its history, heritage, and contributions to humanity as well as peace in the world. Governor Tambuwal further pointed out that the leadership between Sokoto and Britain predates Nigeria as a nation. He maintained that in consideration of the strong partnership between the United Kingdom and Sokoto people, some of the city's streets and routes have been named after some Britons such as Clapperton, Baths, and London routes, among others. In her remarks, the leader of the delegation, Mrs. Grant, expressed delight on her visit to the state, stressing that she is proud of her African heritage. She explained that in view of the importance of the partnership between the United Kingdom and Africa, an economic forum dubbed UK-Africa Investment Summit was held last week in London and hosted by the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Mrs. Grant also pointed out that a strong partnership has been built between the United Kingdom and Africa. She emphasized that the proposed training of judicial officers in Sokoto State will go a long way to further strengthen the rule of law and enhance the evaluation of a people-friendly judicial system in the state. The National Industrial Court in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, on Thursday, ordered the University of Uyo to reinstate a lecturer, Ini Ebong, unjustly sacked from the university in 2002. Mrs. Ebong was an associate professor in the Department of Theatre Arts when his appointment was unlawfully terminated when Mrs. Apan Epo and Mr. Peter Epong were the Vice-Chancellor and Registrar respectively at that time. Mr. Ebong, before his sack, had a running battle with Epo and Epong, who saw him as a thorn in their side for speaking up regularly against alleged maladministration in the school. The lecturer once rejected the university alma mater and sent it back to the school with a note that the faces on it were not deserving of his sitting room, since, as he claimed, they were the very persons who were victimizing him. For about 18 years, Mr. Ebong went through several courtrooms in Nigeria, hired several lawyers, and appeared before different judges, seeking justice against Epo and Epiong and the University of Uyo. The court accordingly ordered the University of Uyo to withdraw the termination letter, reinstate Mr. Ebong, and pay all his salaries, allowances, and entitlement that will have accrued to him since August 1, 2001, when his salary was stopped, and from March 28, 2002, when his appointment was wrongly and unlawfully terminated. The court also ordered the university to pay Mr. Ebong the equivalent of his full annual salaries and allowances for the 2001, 2002, 2003, 2008, and 2014-2015 academic years. The lecturer shall have gone on sabbatical leave in accordance with the terms and conditions of his employment if his appointment had not been unlawfully suspended and later terminated. Mr. Ebong's legal victory is coming about 2 years after another University of Uyo lecturer, Edat Apan, won a similar battle and was reinstated 14 years after he was also unjustly sacked from the school. Mr. Apan was the chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, in the school before the then Vice-Chancellor, Mr. Epo, terminated his teaching appointment for criticizing Epo's leadership style. Mr. Apon, an associate professor of mathematics, was sacked from the school in 2004. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Bajamiela, has stated that the House under his leadership will amend the Constitution to back various security interventions in parts of the country. The Speaker made this known on Wednesday while delivering his welcome address at the beginning of the plenary. The Speaker's comment is coming on the heels of debates regarding the formation of the regional paramilitary outfit in the southwest Amotekun to complement the work of the police. The governors of the region recently launched Amotekun on January 9th, but the federal government afterwards declared it illegal, saying it was unconstitutional. The security outfit was launched by the 6 states of the Southwest due to the rising insecurity in the region. The federal government and the Southwest states later agreed that the group should be organized to conform with the government's community policy model. Speaking at the preliminary, Mr. Femi said the idea of Amotekun and other security interventions are due to the rising security across the country. The speaker said he believed the localized manifestation of insecurity across the different parts of Nigeria calls for unique and localized approaches that take those peculiarities into account. He therefore called on the leader of the House of Representatives and the minority leader to take active steps to bring to the floor appropriate amendments to the Constitution that will ensure that this and other righteous interventions to protect the lives and property of the citizens are firmly in compliance with the laws of the land. As part of multidimensional effort to address the scourge of unemployment in Borno State, Governor Babagana Zulum was at headquarters of the National Directorate of Employment (NDE) in Abuja. NDE's Director General Alhaji Nasiru Ladan Argungu said Zulum was the first northern governor to visit the Directorate headquarters, and for that he has priority attention for Borno State, in addition to security challenges that confer comparative advantage on the state. Zulum, while addressing the DG and his directors, said his visit was to acknowledge some training opportunities already provided to Borno citizens by the NDE and to explore avenues through which the state can benefit to create jobs for its teeming unemployed youths. The governor said addressing the problem of mass unemployment looked promising in tackling some of its. Governor Zulum explained that security and youth empowerment are critical in his twin approach to insecurity. The governor further explained that the interference with the National Director of Employment will open a vista of opportunities for people of Borno State to see how genuinely NDE can train the youth to have sources of livelihood and to be beneficial to the society. The governor lamented that some groups who make interventions claim to conduct specialized training within this, which he described as unrealistic. The governor said he was at the NDE alongside commissioners of higher education as well as science, technology and innovation, so as to directly discuss areas their ministries will engage the NDE. Some senators have called on President Muhammadu Buhari to sack the service chiefs and appoint new ones. They made the call on Wednesday as the lawmakers deliberated on a motion on national security challenges and the need to restructure the nation's security architecture. The lawmakers set aside the whole of Wednesday to discuss the issue due to the increasing rate of insecurity across the country. Premium Times has reported on the insecurity across the nation instigated by different armed groups and individuals. They include resurgent Boko Haram attacks in the northeast and increased cases of killings and kidnapping across the country. In one of the latest incidents, 13 people were killed in Plateau community on Sunday. Amidst the insecurity, the presidency has said Nigerians have reasons to be grateful as the situation is better than it was before President Muhammadu Buhari assumed office. The debate lasted for over 4 hours as over 50 lawmakers took turns to make their contributions. Top among the contributions is a call to the president to dismiss the service chiefs and appoint new ones on grounds that they have served long enough and are bereft of ideas to tackle insecurity. Most of them also emphasized the need for state police to be established. Less than 24 hours after lawmakers in the National Assembly called for their resignation, President Muhammadu Buhari is holding a meeting with the service chiefs in the council chamber in Abuja. The meeting kicked off at 10 a.m. with the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in attendance. Also in attendance is the Chief of Defense Staff, service chiefs, the Inspector General of Police (IGP), Chief of Staff to the President, Ministers of Interiors, Defense, and the heads of the DSS, NIA, and the DMI. The issues to be discussed at the meeting may not be far from the rising security concern across the country. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Samson Ayokunle, the lawmakers are among those that have called for the removal of service chiefs in recent weeks. Some senators on Thursday asked President Buhari to sack the service chiefs and also called for the resignation of the IGP Muhammad Adam. The lawmakers made the demands in their respective contributions to the discussion on the security situation in the country during preliminary on Wednesday. Senate Minority Leader Inyinaya Abaribe, in his contribution, called for the resignation of President Muhammadu Buhari, explaining that his call for the president to resign because he had failed to solve the security challenges in the country years after Nigerians voted the APC government into power to address the problem. Members of the House of Representatives during plenary on Thursday also called on the service chiefs to resign their positions. According to a member of the House, Abubakar Fulata, it will be to the detriment of the country if these men keep doing the same thing repeatedly and expect a different result in tackling the security challenges Nigeria is grappling with. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Menene amfanin gari idan har babu zaman lafiya?
Mecece jiha idan babu shugaba mai adalci? Mecece rayuwa idan ba yanci?
Me amfanin karatu idan har ba aiki?
Menene mahimmancin zabe idan babu roman demokradiyya?
Menene amfanin tarihi idan har ba za a samu darasi daga cikin sa ba?
Jihar Zamfara ta can ta kasance a bar sha'awa. Gashi kuma sansanin noma da kasuwanci.
Gurin da kowa ke sha'awar zuwa. Amma sai abubuwa suka juya.
Amma sai kasance yanzu da zarar an ambaci sunan Zamfara, tunanin wata musifa da ko bala'i shine ke darsu a zakatan mutane.
Baki suka daina zuwa, 'yan gari suka fara guduwa. Talauci da tashin hankali suka yi yawa.
Gashi jihar mu mai haske ta dawo ta yi duhu.
Sa'annan mutanen Zamfara sai muka tashi tsaye, muka kama addu'o'i da tuba ga Ubangijinmu.
Sai kuwa Allah ya amsa addu'anmu, sai ya kawo mana matawallan muradi.
Dodon makiya zaman lafiya, dodon talauci, dodon makaryata da masu yaudara.
Me yi kuma dan Allah, me kishin mutane.
Me kuma neman gwamnati ba don kansa ba.
Cikin kankanin lokaci sai gashi ya dawo mana da hasken Zamfara, amma ta fi yadda take da.
Wannan shi ake nufi da shugaba.
Jarumi ba malalaci ba.
Ma'aikaci ba barawo ba.
Allah ka kare mana zababben gwamna matawalin maradi.
Allah kuma ya ƙara masa lafiya. Allah kuma ya ƙara ɗaukaka.
Wannan saƙo ne daga gwamnatin jihar Zamfara ƙarƙashin jagorancin Bello Muhammad Matawallan Maradun MON kuma bardan ƙasar Hausa. Welcome back. On business, over to Aguirita.
Welcome to Business Desk. The federal government's oil revenue projection for 2020 may be badly hit by the coronavirus outbreak in China, which has sparked concerns of lower demand growth, causing oil prices to plunge. The 2020 budget, which was signed by the President, Major General Muhammad Buhari, in December, was based on oil production of 2.80 million barrels per day to an oil price benchmark of $7 per barrel. The federal government is looking to generate 2.64 trillion naira oil revenue, which is 32.34% of expected total revenue for this year, with non-oil revenue projection being 1.80 trillion naira. But China deadly virus has continued to spread fear through world market, with oil prices falling to the lowest point in 3 months on Monday. The international oil benchmark, Brent crude, tumbled below the $60 per barrel mark on Monday, on fear that the virus could hit demand in a market that already has plentiful supply. Brent, against which Nigeria crude oil is priced, had risen above $70 per barrel earlier this month, following the killing of an area general, Qasem Soleimani, by the U.S. on January 3rd. According to the Organization of Petrol Exporting Countries, Nigeria crude oil production fell to a record low of 1.27 million per barrel per day last month from 1.66 million barrel per day in November. Nigeria is more affected by reduced oil production. The country's current production level is 18.81% lower than its 2020 oil production benchmark of 2.80 million barrels per day. Also, lower output could erase the gain made from high oil prices. Lower oil production could adversely affect the country's fiscal and internal position. Coronavirus is the latest upheaval for the oil market, which has been struggling with demand concerns for months. China is a large consumer of crude oil. More than 100 people are said to have died, and over 4,000 cases of the new virus have been confirmed in China, leading authorities to increase preventive measures, impose travel restrictions, and extend the Lunar New Year holidays to limit the spread of the virus. Saudi Arabic Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman has said members of the OPEC could respond to steady the oil market if necessary. He said markets were being primarily driven by physiological factors and extremely negative expectations adopted by some market participants despite the virus' very limited impact on global oil demand. OPEC and its partner, including Russia, agreed to cut output by a further of 500 barrels per day from January through March 2020, on top of their previous cut of 1.2 million barrels per day. According to S&P Global Platts, starting this month, Nigeria quota dropped to 1.75 million barrels per day under the OPEC collaboration agreement to deepen its production cut through March. OPEC members are considering deeper production cut or extending their existing deal in response to a slump in price caused by the outbreak of coronavirus in China. The next 2 weeks will be critical for not only the oil market but the global economy. There is right now a discussion among the ministers of OPEC of watching the market closely and preparing to do anything if there is a need for it. OPEC-led analysis of oil producers will next meet in Vienna March 5th to 6th to discuss policy and output levels. And that is all for business news. I'm Angwa Rita.
Thank you, Rita. And on the international scene. More than 6,000 tourists were under lockdown aboard a cruise ship at an Italian port on Thursday after 2 Chinese passengers were isolated over fears they could be carrying the coronavirus. The local health authorities said samples from the 2 passengers were sent for testing after 3 doctors and a nurse boarded the cruise ship in the port of Svtv to tend to a woman running a fever. Costa Croatia confirmed the ship, carrying some 7,000 people in total, including crew, was in lockdown. It came as China repeated its biggest single-day jump in coronavirus deaths and global fears deepened over the spread of the disease, with at least 15 countries confirming infections. COS said a 54-year-old woman from Macau was placed in solitary confinement in the onboard hospital Wednesday night with her travel companion, and the crew was following instructions from the health ministry. The Costa Smeralda, the company's flagship and the 5th largest cruise ship in the world, came from Palma de Mallorca and is currently engaged in 1-week cruises. Italy's Prime Minister Conte said the government was not worried but vigilant and cautious. According to Italian media reports, the couple flew into Milan from Hong Kong on January 25th before getting on the cruise at Savona in northern Italy. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Zamfara State Commissioner of Information assures of his cooperation with media organizations in the state. Sokoto to partner Bulletin on rejuvenation of state legal system. President Buhari received security briefings from service chiefs and other heads of the security agencies. On business, Nigeria's 2.64 trillion naira proposed oil revenue under threat. And on the international scene, coronavirus scared thousands held on board cruise ship in Italy. On behalf of the production crews and head of news and current affairs, I am Svtv Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant time. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News. Goodbye.